Guys, it's Jeannie. Welcome back to the Bookworms Buddy. Today I have a book haul. This is my first haul for April, so it's really exciting. Before I get started on that though, I don't know if you guys had noticed the bad weather in the last couple days in Texas, but there were some tornadoes spotted in Denton and this and that, and yesterday I went into the bookstore and found out from our friends there at the used bookstore that the sales racks were actually empty when I went in there, and I asked them, and they said they had to take shelter and could not get out there to bring in the sales racks from outside, and all those books were destroyed. And that was really, really depressing to me because I love spending time with those sales racks because there's always such good books out there. And especially like those hard to find mystery series books. I could always find them out there in the sales racks, and it was just really sad. They had like 3 books on the sales rack. So that was a little depressing. If I ever hear anything about books that are ruined or thrown away or whatever, it just like a knife through the heart. But anyway, moving on. This haul is from the last 3 weeks, I guess. 2 weeks ago I went, and then I went yesterday. So I'm going to get started with the ones from 2 weeks ago. So I started out with Undone by Karen Slaughter. This is book number 3 in the Will Trent series. If you've been watching my videos, you would have noticed that I've just read Triptych and put a review up on that. I can put that in the description below if you want to go watch that one. And I was really happy to see this because I was happy to see they had it because I did not get this one yet, and this is for next month. So it made me very happy to see it there, and I'm really loving the series. I'm really loving Karen Slaughter as a writer. She's very talented. Next one I found on the sales rack. This one was not on the sales rack. This was half price. So that's still not bad. On the sales rack I found Prep by Curtis Sittenfeld. And this basically is a 14-year-old girl who is really, really smart, and she goes away to an adult private school, and it's just going to be about her dealing with the ups and downs, her accomplishments, those things that she has to deal with. And I figured that it sounded pretty good, so I would give it a shot. I got it for $1, so you know, if I don't like it, it's not a big deal. The next book is this beautiful book, Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. This cover was gorgeous, I thought. I just absolutely loved it. And then the back of it, you can see the little pattern back there. And purple is one of my favorite colors. So I've been wanting to read some Jane Austen, and they didn't have Pride and Prejudice, which is really surprising because I know I've seen it there before and just never thought about picking them up. And I just really want to read more Jane Austen, so I decided to start with this one. So I picked it up. I got this. It was only $4.50, and it's a beautiful book, so that made me happy. The next one I picked up, I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but it's Tonopah? I don't know. If anybody knows, let me know how it's pronounced. But this is by Christopher A. Lane. And this story is about a teacher, and it's like a few of her students, like three high school students. They ended up trespassing on a restricted military base, and I guess they didn't realize it. But if they hadn't have done it, they would never have found the fossilized bones they found buried there. So that's a great discovery because she is a paleontologist, if that's how you say that, the teacher is. And a whole bunch of stuff starts happening. The military starts watching them. There's hitmen everywhere. So hopefully it'll be a very adventurous story. I got it for $1, and it sounded good, so I picked it up. The next book, the last book I bought 2 weeks ago, was Wolf Boy by Evan Coleman. And the cover was just wow anyway. And again, $2 on the sales rack. This book was really original because the way that it's wrote. Basically, a rundown on the story is there's this boy who lost his oldest brother in an accident. And this is going to be talking about how people deal with their grief. Like the parents just fell in on themselves and became distant. Well, this boy, along with his friend, created a superhero called Wolf Boy. Now, the unique thing about the story is that they created him in the form of a graphic novel. That's not even a good page. Let's see, where's a good page? There we go, both sides. And the rest of the book, you know, is just regular story. I thought it was so cool to have both elements in a book. You got your regular novel and you got your graphic novel all in one book. And like I said, where it's the graphic novel is where the story switches over to Wolf Boy and him just dealing with the grief and the loss and all that. So for $2 I had to pick it up, and that cover was to die for. I love the cover. Nothing special on this, just it's yellow and green, but this part was awesome inside. So yeah, I thought that was really good idea, really different, really original. I don't know if there's any other books like that, but that just really kind of caught my attention. And then yesterday's haul, I got Dark Horse by Tammy Hogue. This book is book 1 in the Elena Estes series. And I think there's only 2 books right now. But this one came out in 2002, I want to say. So, I mean, it's been out a while. I know my sister, I'm pretty sure my sister in Indiana got me The Alibi Man, which is book 2. So I'm hoping I got that right. And this is book 1. So I'm really excited to start that one. I've really been enjoying Tammy Hogue a lot. Next one I got was Lisa Jackson's Tell Me. This is the 3rd book in the Night Before and the Morning After, if anybody's familiar with Lisa Jackson. And this one just came out last year, and I know I've seen it in Walmart, and I kept saying, no, I'm not going to pick it up yet. I've got other Lisa Jackson books to read. But I went ahead and got it from the used bookstore. I saw it there, and I'm like, what? So I picked it up and got it for $4 less than what I would have got it for in the store. Or at Walmart. Next one I picked up is To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. I was at the bookstore with my oldest daughter, and she first spotted these, and there was like 5 of them, and they were all written, except for this one. It just had the person's name. But she said, I wonder what it would be like for me to read this now outside of school. So that got to me to thinking, I'm like, I don't even remember if I read it in school, because it's been a long time since I've been in school. So I decided I'd get the book, and we're both going to read it sooner or later. And I just feel like I really want to read it, because I can't remember if I did read it. So I picked that one up for like $2.50. Next one we got is Jasmine Nights by Julia Gregson. This is a historical fiction. Basically, this is about women in the entertainment industry in the World War II era. So I've been wanting to read more historical fiction books, and I figured this one would fit in nicely. It sounded like it would be really good. Of course, there's more to it than just that, so I decided to pick it up. I got this actually from Big Lots for $2. They had it on sale, so nice find. And also, I got The Possibility of You by Pamela Redman, also from Big Lots for $2. This one has to do with having children or something. It was really, I'm going to look it up on Goodreads and read what that one says. But this, like, 1916, it was one thing Bridget was supposed to never let happen, but no matter how many times she replayed the steps in her head, she couldn't reanimate the small pale boy who lay limp in her arms. So I'm like, okay. And then it says 1976. Billy felt as if she'd been wrenched in half more surely than when the baby had been cut from her body, but she felt something else too, happy to think only of her own needs, her own tears, so light she could float away somewhere no one would ever find her. And I'm thinking, this is crazy. And then it said the present. Even if Kate never found her birth mother, even if she decided not to have this baby, to leave her lover and kiss her parents goodbye, she was surrounded by so much emotion, so many questions, that she felt as if she might never be free again. So, I'm not going to read the rest of this right here, but that part right there, I was like, this is a crazy book. I'm going to have to read this book and find out what this is all about. And it's obviously going to be about kids and women's choices of having children or not having children or something. So I'm going to try and squeeze this in in the near future, not the faraway future, because it's really got me intrigued, and I really want to know what it's about. So, $2 for that one. And then this book, Black Beauty, I did get from our used bookstore for $5. This is the classic storybook cover that Barnes & Noble uses. I don't know if this is actually Barnes & Noble, but because I don't see anything in here about it. Oh, yeah, Barnes & Noble. And the story about Black Beauty is when I was a young girl, my parents bought us these burgundy-bound books. And there were all these classics like Tom Sawyer and Black Beauty, and I can't even remember all the books. And I don't know whatever happened to those books. And I know I probably read every single one of them. Black Beauty was one of those books, and I read it so many times. And I've missed having that book. And I've just never really thought about going out and buying another one until I saw this one. Actually, 2 weeks ago, and I passed it up. They still had it in there yesterday. I finally grabbed it, and the book is beautiful. I mean, look at the spine. The spine is gorgeous, and even the back of the book. And like I said, this is like classic storybook covers. It's got the silver-tipped pages. It's got great illustrations all throughout the book, and it's got its own little ribbon here. And I was just happy that I finally bought it. I'm going to read this book very soon because I really want to read it. Revisit my friends of my childhood and just relive all of that. And it's going to really be a good experience, I think, for me. So, yeah. And that is all of my books. I got 11 books to share, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. If anybody has read any of these books, let me know in the comments below what you thought of them, what you liked or didn't like about them. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.